and welcome to the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour television show. This is the series which follows these stunning flying catamarans around Europe as they battle it out at some of the most beautiful and iconic sailing destinations. In this episode, we head to Toulon in the south of France for the season's finale, the 2018 GC32 TPM Med Cup. Supported by Métropole Toulon, Provence, Méditerranée and the city of Toulon, it was the event which would decide who of the 8 teams would be crowned the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour champions and who would be lifting the owner-driver's trophy. Leading the GC32 Racing Tour heading into the final event was Auto, powered by Team France. Skippered by Volvo Ocean Race, Route du Rhum and multiple all-round 60 winner, Frank Camus, the team had a comfortable 7-point lead over their closest rival.
We have a big gap for the overall ranking of the year, so we have no stress. We start just to enjoy this race, especially because we are in France and we have a lot of support around us, and it's always good to be in front of the fleet.
Hot on their heels in second place are the defending GC32 Racing Tour champions, Real Team from Switzerland. The team's skipper Jérôme Clerc missed the previous tour event in Villesimeuse, but is back for Toulon, ready to take the helm for the final event of the season.
We're here in Toulon, last event of the GC32 Racing Tour of the year. It will be the final race, so we're here at the second place behind Noroto Frank Camus, but he has a huge lead over us, so I think it will be hard to overtake him. So our goal is to defend our podium position.
With their 7-point lead, Auto are the obvious favourites to win the overall title. So far this season, the French team have won 3 out of the 4 events and finished second in the other, making them the standout crew of the season. Meanwhile, the fight for the owner-driver's trophy has been a lot closer. American Jason Carroll's Argo starts the final event in Toulon ahead, but only with a slim 2-point advantage over Eric Maris's Zulu and Simon Hull's Frank Racing from New Zealand.
We're pretty pleased that we're up there in the fight, so we weren't sure that we were going to be able to keep up with these guys. So I think they're sailing more consistently than us, and we have our moments. So I think for us, the secret for us is just try not to make the mistakes and have the bad races, minimise the bad races, and try and be more consistent. So.
Obviously we're really close in the owner-driver overall, and we're here to take the win hopefully, and the boys have done a lot of sailing in the boats before, so we're looking forward to competing there with Argo and Zulu. We've got a bit more youth on our side, we're all young boys on board, so hopefully you know, big breeze and we can go out there and muscle it around the course.
We look at the general we are lying third. You know, our aim will be to come up and finish second, if we can, behind Noroto, which I think is unbeatable and reachable now. But you know, we'll do our best race after race, have fun, and then we'll see what the results come out with. We're more good looking. Is that good enough? Frankly, apart from that, I don't know. They're great teams. You know, most of the time it's down to luck and a little bit of, you know, of work. We've seen in the season, Argo was almost unbeatable at the end of the races in Palma, and then last time round they were a bit more down in the fleet. Happened to us as well, so anything could happen to anyone. The level of the boats are very close.
The owner-driver teams are a mix of amateur owners and pro sailors. Many of the professionals have thousands of racing miles under their belts on numerous different types of boat and in events ranging from Olympic Games to the America's Cup. The owner at the helm may be talented and enthusiastic, but doesn't have this same level of experience, so the crews are responsible for helping them get around the racecourse, coaching them on the way. This makes for an interesting dynamic on board.
Well, working with owner-driver is it's a big challenge for us as a pro sailor, because we have to remind the first day when we were sailing like the dinghies and learning how to sail, and we have to be really patient with the owner and trying to explain always what we are thinking, and always try to use simple words and try to teach them as much as we can. So it takes a bit of time, but when we are winning races, when we are passing pro sailors like Noroto or Ineos on a jibe, it's a big reward for us. It shows that all the work we are doing is going the right way. So I found it really satisfying to work with owners, because I really like, and the guys on board with me really like to get the people up to a better level, and when we are achieving that, it's a great satisfaction.
Sailing with owner is a bit different than a real pro sailing team, but at the end it's come closer. We try to bring the owner to in our world, like to be professional, and I think our owner Eric is doing quite well.
Might be 8 to 10 years now, so I really don't ever think about it that way. It's just, you know, the guy that drives our boat now, and so, you know, friend more than anything.
In Toulon, for the final event of the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour, there was a very local addition to the fleet. The dark horse of the week in many people's eyes were Metropole Toulon Provence Méditerranée, skippered by French youth match racing champion Robin Follin. He and his young crew, who last year represented France in the Red Bull Youth America's Cup in Bermuda, were new to the GC32 Racing Tour in 2017, and the local heroes were looking forward to racing against the best.
Our team is from the Red Bull Youth America's Cup. We were in Bermuda last year with Team Frangène, the youth team of Frank Hamas. So we are really happy to be here, because this year we built alone our project. We found our partner with TPM, and it's a quite good opportunity for us, because we can fight with now some skippers like Frank Hamas, Ben Hensley, some other one. So no, we are really happy to take part, and it's an honor for us. Yes. All the team are between 22 and 23 years old. So yes, a very youth team, but we have some things to do right, and we will fight a lot to be competitive. We are so proud because, of course, like you said, we saw this skipper on the TV since many years. It's a very good challenge, because for us to beat them, it's a big objective. If it's only one race, it can be very nice. I think it's a good opportunity and we will keep them.
So let's find out what happened in the final event of the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour. The night before the start of the event, a storm passed through the marina. Come race day, the winds had abated off the Côte d'Azur, but sadly the sea state on the Rade de Toulon was considered too large for the nimble flying catamarans to race safely. The principal race officer reluctantly was forced to abandon racing for the day.
We've had a really testing day. Big storms went through yesterday. The wind strength today and the forecasts have been very good, but our biggest issue is the sea state. And we have 2 metre swells from the east coming in, and that's creating two issues. One issue for mooring of the boats in the harbour, which is why we've been hesitant to put the boats in the water with the cranes. And secondly, the sea state on the race area is quite marginal right now.
Well, it's a tough decision. Obviously, I think everybody would rather we went out and sailed. I think it's a combination of a number of things. This morning it was, obviously not saleable. I think it's a bit late in the day. We need to crane the boats out, get everyone in race mode. And the sea state apparently is a bit difficult, and there will be only marginal foiling. So I think it was a wise decision. We'll just postpone to tomorrow, and we'll have at least 2 wonderful days of sailing in Toulon.
After the storms, torrential rain and overcast skies of the previous few days, the Rade de Toulon was in an entirely different mood on day 2 of the GC32 TPM Med Cup. Out on the water, the star of the day was unquestionably Ben Ainsley, the most successful Olympic sailor of all time, and his America's Cup crew on Ineos Team UK. The British team won 3 consecutive races, coming second in the remaining 2.
We had a nice day. We really enjoyed the conditions here in Toulon, and the team sailed really well today. Yeah, we had a mixture of moments in the team. We had some good starts and not so good starts, but we always seem to be sailing through the fleet and sailing fast and in the right direction. So great team effort.
However, the day was perhaps most memorable for the dramatic and very public dismasting of Real Team. In the opening race, they made the best start and took the lead, only for disaster to strike on the second downwind leg directly in front of the spectators on the shore. No one was injured on board as the mast came down and the boat was towed back to the marina where the shore team set to work. They worked overnight to fix the mast, and thanks to their efforts, they were back on the water racing the following day.
I think our technical crew did a great job this night because they didn't sleep at all to fix the mast. So we were pretty happy to go back on the water today. And for sure the first race we didn't push too much because we have to check the mast if everything was okay, and then we feel confident and can push more and win 1 race, so it was great.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Norauto rediscovered their winning form on day 3 of the event when they claimed the opening 2 races and concluded the day with 2 seconds to move up the leaderboard into 2nd place overall. But ahead of them was still Ineos Team UK, who had managed to maintain their advantage. After 2 spectacular days of racing, large seas rolled into the Rad de Toulon's open southeasterly side, preventing racing on the final day of the 2018 GC32 TPM Med Cup. Ben Ainsley's Ineos Team UK therefore were crowned the winners, beating Frank Camus's Norauto to the top spot by 13 points after 10 races. Impressively, the British team never finished a race off the podium and scored 5 bullets. This result also elevated Ineos Team UK to 2nd place in the overall 2018 GC32 Racing Tour rankings, despite having missed May's inaugural GC32 World Championships on Lake Garda.
We've had a great event here in Toulon with the GC32s. For us, it's our 4th event as a team coming into this series, and so we've been developing through the season, and so it's really nice to end off on a high with a win, and it feels like our team has progressed a lot through the season, bringing lots of different sailors in our America's Cup squad through to this foiling multi-hull, and great preparation for that and for us as a team. Now we've been working heavily this year in the technical and design side of the America's Cup. So back in our base in Portsmouth in the UK, that's really been our main focus, alongside racing in the GC32 series. And so we go back to really the design, the testing of our little 28-foot test boat. And then we will look forward to hopefully racing more with the GC Tour next year, and again keeping our sailors out there racing at high-end, high-performance foiling multi-hulls.
The standout winner of the Owner Drivers Prize at the GC32 TPM Med Cup was Australian Simon Del Zoppo and his Dot Film Racing. They also finished the event comfortably in 3rd place overall, thanks in part to winning race 5 on day 2. Having started this season with a new, albeit highly experienced crew led by former French America's Cup skipper Sébastien Colle on tactics, Dot Racing showed steady improvement this season.
It's our best result so far for the season. We win the Owner Driver Trophy and 3rd overall, so we went behind Ineos and Norauto. So 2 professional teams for an Owner Driver to come 3rd, we're very happy with that, and yeah, so very excited. Our crew did a fantastic job, and I think this regatta, all the hard work's come together for us, so we're looking forward to next season.
Maris and Zulu finished 2nd in the Owner Drivers Championship here in Toulon, but that wasn't good enough for the Frenchman to displace Jason Carroll and his team Argo from the top spot in the GC32 Racing Tour's ultra-competitive overall Owner Driver leaderboard for 2018. Carroll and his Argonauts also won the Anonymous Speed Challenge at the GC32 TPM Med Cup. Their average speed of 28.97 knots, recorded on Saturday, was in fact the highest recorded throughout 2018, displacing the previous top run of 25.26 knots average, recorded by Simon Hull's Frank Racing in Lagos, Portugal.
Great year for us in the GC GC32 Racing Tour, and as a owner-driver class, we were super happy to be able to compete against all these great teams, and to take the overall lead for the year for the owner-drivers. So it was a great opportunity for us to do it this year and last year, and yeah, very happy overall with the year. This regatta was quite windy and quite wavy, and it was basically just get around that dry mark as fast as we could, as smooth as we could, and we managed to keep going fast the whole time. So we ended up with the top speed, and yeah, it was good.
The overall winner of the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour was Norauto, powered by Team France. The team started the GC32 TPM Med Cup with a comfortable 7-point lead, but sealed their overall prize in Toulon with more consistent racing. For his season's victory, Camas not only won the coveted GC32 Racing Tour trophy, but also an Anonimo Nautilo bronze bi-colour timepiece. In addition, Norauto is the first team to win the GC32 Racing Tour twice, having first taken the title in 2016.
We enjoyed to do this year again, as expected, and it's a very good series. I'm proud to be in front of this fit. We were consistent this year, even if we don't win every time, but it's always a good fight, good battles. This is important for the class to have this level, and it's why we want to continue and to keep focus on this class. I think it's a very good class to improve and to keep the skills for flying boat.
GC32 TPM Med Cup, first time for us in Toulon after many years in Marseille. It's been a very nice event with a lot of public engaging. We weren't too lucky with the weather. We had some bad weather at the beginning of the event, and the last day unfortunately too much wind. Throughout we still did 10 really exciting and cool races, and had here nice engagements with the crowds, and it's been good to be in Toulon. I think it was a success.
Let's have a look at the overall results of the 2018 GC32 Racing Tour at the end of the season. So that's it from Toulon and the GC32 TPM Med Cup. The French venue was a welcome new addition to the tour and a great place to end the 2018 season. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next year for more foiling action on the GC32 Racing Tour.